Hi, today is Rowan's tutorial on how to make a very simple Photoshop action. Before we start, I'm going to give you this. Go ahead and pause the recording if you'd like to read. But this is the operations that will work with an action and some of the variables that are going to happen if you're doing something really complicated. I do not do anything really complicated, so mine is a very simple, but it saves me so much time. Read that? Cool. Now we're going to go back to my gown. What we're going to be doing is an action, and usually your action is this up here. You're going to have a little arrow. If that does not show, you go to Window, Actions, and there's your actions. And to make a new action, I like to have my dresses in, or anything I make really, I like to have it in a lot of colors. So you have your hue is 360 degrees of color. So I do 30. And to make a new action that will switch these colors for me, I will go to these three lines up here, and you want to turn on Allow Tool Recording, and then you want to go to New Action. Name it, because if you just leave it as Action 2, you won't remember what it does. So we're going to call this 12 colors. I just use it as default actions. If you have other actions, you can name it as that. You can put a function key. I don't really want to because I don't know what all of my keys do, and I probably have something else set up for that. And it's just easier for me to remember to go up there and hit play. And you can pick a color for it if you want, like, ooh, it's an orange, and it'll show up orange over here. Doesn't matter. Once you've got this set up, you hit record and then you do whatever you want your action to do. Usually something you want that is tedious or you want and is repeatable. So I'm going to show you how, and I will walk you through what I do. So we're going to hit record. Then we're going to come over here and we will duplicate this layer, and you can just call it whatever you want. I just leave it as copy. And then we go up to image, adjustments, hue and saturation, and like I said, if you want 12 colors, you divide the 360 degrees of color by 12 and you get 30. So see, it changed that to a orangey yellow kind of mustard color. Okay, that is all the action I need. Okay, we hit the stop button. Now we have a 12 colors action. Now we want to do our action again. We want to do another color. Ta-da! Now I will do it for all the colors. That's why I have it only do one. I could have it do all 12 for me in the action and it would go and do it all. But I want to make sure I'm watching it, and I'm still a little, wary of things doing things automatically for me. So I just do it all the times until I get back to the red that I started with. And that one I will go up here and I will go to desaturate to make sort of a darkish color, like what you don't really want to use a true black. You can go up here and go click there, make it even blacker, and then duplicate that layer, adjustments, invert. Now you have a white one. Ta-da! And you can keep going with those 12 colors and do another 12 colors, but it'll just do the same because you're doing the 360 of colors. It doesn't matter what color you start with. Like if I wanted to start with this pink, I would just do doop, 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 and it would just keep going. So if you start on a different color, I tend to start on red because it just makes it easier for me. But if you want to start on a different color, and you can also do that same 30 on a pattern. Like if you have I think I've got a pattern up here. Let's see what I've got in my already. Shrink down. That's how you shrink these little menus, is this little double arrows, pink. And this will show you, okay, so like we have this fall seamless. We're going to do that on this, and we're just going to hit 12 colors, 12 colors, 12 colors, 12 colors, and it'll do it on any, and you want to make sure you're on the right layer that you want to do it on, because you cannot do it on, unless you set up the action to do it on all the layers. I just have that simple. That layer is definitely, you can even see it if we pull this window down here and I make it bigger. You'll be able to see that this 12 colors says duplicate current layer and then hue and saturation. That's all it does. All these other actions I have do different things. Like I have one that does It'll make a snapshot. It'll do all sorts of crazy things. So you want to click on, if to activate your action, click on it, hit the play button, and then you get to see what it does. But the one that we made is all the way down here. 12 colors. And all you got to do is hit play for each color. And that's how you make an action. You want to try it again? To open the actions window, actions, there you go. Then hit these 3 buttons in the corner. New action. There's your action. Name it. 12 colors to Electric Boogie. I was going to say Electric Boogaloo, but I didn't want to figure out how to spell that. And now record. We will, whatever you're doing for your record, which is what I do, this is what I'm doing right now, is duplicate layer. Okay. Image adjustments. Hue and saturation. 30. So if you want to decide how many colors you want, like if I wanted to do 24 colors, I would divide 360 by 24, which would give me 15. But hit stop when you're done recording your action. I forgot that part. But that's it. Ta-da! You have an action.